paid program. JJ Publicidad, EMR, and its owners and associates take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by the talk show host or their guest.
Knowledge is power. Boost Your Business, the show that elevates your business with ideas, tips, advice, information, and tools that will take your business to the next level. Boost Your Business with Erica Sanchez begins now.
That's like 2 years ago. Oh my gosh, welcome back to my show at BYB Boost Your Business. I'm Erica Sanchez. I'm your host for today. I hope you guys had a fantastic last year and in the beginning of a new year this year. For me, it was, new goals, new year, and new goals for business, I would say, because that's my career's eye, is meeting goals and helping owners thrive. Again, if you guys want to find any more information on my website, go on thriveprofitengineer.com. You guys can book a consultation with me. I'm a profit engineer, business coach, business consultant that helps you with pretty much startups, established, and also growth companies. So if you're a owner who wants to develop your business into franchise, you're a restaurant who wants to add a ghost kitchen, talk to me. That is my other landing page on franchisecreator.com/Phoenix. You also learn a little bit more about my background in developing other owners and also working for corporations where I worked as a franchise developer. But that's pretty much about me, and I actually have a great topic to talk about today. As you guys have been probably seeing my post the past few days, I've been wanting to bring someone who means a lot to me. I actually met her last year. She is a healer, spiritual coach. There's so many names that you can probably call a person in her type of career, but Daniela, she owns the business called Luna Lunera, and she practices helping owners, people, anyone with healing and crystals, and there's so many numerous services we're going to talk about today in today's conversation. But and I'm sure you guys probably heard what Reiki is, and meditation, and protection of energy, or how to heal yourself with energy, and all holistic services and things like that. We're going to dive into that today. But this is if you guys want to show the camera here, Javier, pero this is Daniela. Welcome to the show, Daniela.
Thank you.
Go ahead and introduce yourself. And
well, thank you so much for having me.
Yes.
I'm like, which camera's on? Which one's rolling?
That one.
Hello, everybody. Well, it's an honor to be here.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course.
I've been. What a great way to start 2022.
Yes. So tell us more about, when did you start doing this? Tell us more about your history. I know you weren't doing this forever. What did you do before? And
it's been a while. I'm like, where do I start? I'll give you a little bit of short version, because my long story shorts go way long.
You go for it.
So it started a few years ago. I feel like we all come to a point where we feel like something's missing in our lives, or I'm going to work, but there's something missing. There's something that I can't put my finger on it, pero como que te sientes vacía, So that opened up the path for me, but essentially that's where I was moving to, but it came to me as a health issue. And in life, there's things that happen to us, and we have two choices. We have the choice to become the victim of it, or we have the choice to be empowered from it and be like, okay, what is this lesson? What is it teaching me? How can I dive deeper into myself? What is this change? Obviously, it's something big is happening. For example, with me, it was my health. Pero no me voy a dar por vencida.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a long path, because I went through a rabbit hole, as you would say, finding out about the medical, the medical field, and the doctors. They're good at a certain point, but then it's like they don't tell you after an injury, ¿cómo te sanas? What do you need to eat? They're just, okay, go on your normal way.
Medication, go, I'm going to prescribe you this, take this for the next 2, 4, 5 years.
Exactly. You're like, what? At least a mí no me cayó bien. I was like, no. So I went through a health issue that I decided I'm going to heal myself. I'm not going to take medication. no, this is not the path for me. So from there, I just started diving deeper and deeper into what is the body, how does the body heal, just the whole anatomy of the body, which led into deeper understanding of myself. I'm like, wow, we really are so divine. We are so intricate. We can, with the right substance, with the right intention, with the right environment, we can heal ourselves.
Of course.
So that really started through the first year, was more learning about my physical body, about changing my lifestyle.
Right.
Me and you had a conversation about this.
Yeah.
About changing the way that we eat.
Yeah, and I'm okay sharing this, at least this part. When I came to Claudia's, because I also had, I would say not like a big, it was a big problem because it was also internal. I was blocking myself. There's many things that I had to work with myself, but it was because of stress. I was very stressed. I was under stress. There's more to that, but I remember talking to her, and I'm like, okay, how can you help me? I don't want to go on medication. I don't want to, I don't want to believe that I have to see a doctor for something that I know that I'm blocking myself internally, or maybe I haven't let go of something in the past that is holding me, that is blocking one of my part of my body. And I remember you were telling me about the medium doctor, and reading the books and eating healthier. So every morning I take supplements. I've changed my routine completely after a conversation, but also breathing and meditating and sitting back and just those techniques that you taught me before a meeting, before going to an event, and before even our show right now, we did certain techniques so that we can feel great and protect our environment. And just, there are certain things that many years ago they were a thing, but I think now in these days we lost our touch to that spirit, that energy, and I think that's where we got to find people like you. Thank you. To, hey, how can we connect to our inner self?
And you nailed it right there, where you said that we lost touch. We there's so many things that are convenient now for us, and I mean, it's a convenience, but essentially we start losing touch with nature. We start losing touch with ourselves, with our body, what we're eating, and it's more convenient to go through a fast food place. Y todo eso accumulates. You develop toxins in your body. So that's essentially what happened to me. I had gone through that when I decided, okay, something has to change in my life, and that's when I dedicated myself to learning, literally just going on the internet and anything that came to me, I was trying to find the answer.
Right.
I would spend hours and getting books from the library, buying books from the thrift store, even like finding this information online, Amazon, todo, so I can be educated about myself.
Right.
And then from there it moves on to, okay, there's different layers of the body. It's not just ourselves, it's not just the body.
Right.
It's our emotions, it's our mind, it's our spirit. Which just led me down a trail of a path of learning more about our wholeness, and it's not just addressing our physical, it's addressing our mind, our spirit, our emotions, as I mentioned before. So that just kind of led me into my work, and I had a moment of for those wondering, okay, well, where do I go from here? Literally having a moment of feeling like everything is falling apart. I feel like we have to go through those moments so we can really analyze our lives and be like, what is not working?
Right.
What is not working? And that's a lot of people that come to see me. They're at that point.
They're at that point where they're just they don't come to see you when they're trying to prevent something. They come to see you when they're just hit right bottom. Exactly. They're like, oh, I need help.
Exactly.
Right.
Which the purpose of this, and thank you again for inviting me. What an honor of this talk is to help empower others, empower la comunidad to learn about themselves, to learn about how it is to move forward with anything that's going on in your life, because essentially we are energy. The moment you stop breathing, and that comes back to the breath, the breath techniques. What's the first thing that you do when you come into this world?
Breathe air.
Exactly. And the last thing that you do?
You breathe out air.
Exactly. So your breath is the Holy Spirit. It's that divinity. It's that life force. So even with simple things like, well, we think it's simple, but it really is. It's how do I say this? We don't really think about it, of breathing, you know, and sometimes we tend to hold our breath. I know I was there for a while. I was holding my breath until I realized, I was like, wait, I'm holding my breath. And but learning how to manage your breath, and you know, when you get angry, you get stressed, some people tell you breathe, and that sometimes it's like a trigger. You're like, you know, pero it's very important. It is so important how knowing how to manage your breath, knowing how to breathe and not hold it, is literally going to allow the energy to flow through you, allow the stress to move out of you, so you are in a better position to think. And that relates a lot to what our topic is for today, is learning the importance of empowering oneself to learn more about the basis of life, which is energy, life force. So talk to me more about the recent, well, we have this topic today because we're going to cover a lot of areas, obviously, but this topic means a lot to you. So I wanted to ask you, you know, what does that mean, so that the viewers can understand more of your perspective on this? Sí, claro. Yeah, so life force energy, like, it is everything. It's around us. It's what we are, you know. Without, sin vida no estamos aquí. So what does that mean? It's okay, when you're tapping deeper into yourself, you're learning about yourself, you're learning how to move that energy, you're learning how to recognize cuando algo no está bien. You're coming back in tune with yourself, with your divinity, with your connection with God. And oftentimes we feel very empty because you're not connecting to yourself. You know,
you're like a zombie. You just wake up, you do the same routine, and you're not seeing the moment. You're not present. You're just living.
Sí, exacto. So the last 2 years, we know it's been a roller coaster.
What is your opinion with the pandemic? I want to ask you another question. You brought that up. During the pandemic, we've seen a lot of people, in your opinion, people who maybe committed suicide. They couldn't handle staying in the house. We saw divorces go up, a lot of depression, especially through the holidays. Like, what's going on with the energy right now? Like, what the heck?
Yeah, so there's so many layers to this reality, and I know this is kind of really out there, but at the same time, it is really out there. Like, there's just so many layers to this reality. So through one lens, we can look at you know, that everything that's happening is really terrible. At the second lens, it's like we're starting to analyze what is really happening, because through all of that, these divorces that may have happened, how connected was this relationship? You know, and as much as it hurts, as much as our emotions are involved, like, I feel like it gave, at least for me, it gave me an opportunity to really sit and reflect with myself. It was that breaking point that we talked about, of what is not working here, what's not working with our system, with the government, what's not working with ourselves, with our relationships, with our business. So I feel like it gave a time, again, this is through different lenses, through more like a 3D lens per se. It gave us time to slow down and really be with our family, you know, and it is unfortunate for the losses and that occurred with the families, and my my condolences go out to all the people that lost their lives. And in that process, where there's dark, there's always light. And in that process of grieving, that situation brought together so many people. I know for my family, when my grandmother passed, I wasn't so connected with my family, because at that point I was the black sheep of the family. I was the one that was going against everything that they said. But when she passed away, it helped me realize, like, wow, life is not guaranteed here. And that was the bridge that I needed to connect with my family on a deeper level. So how many people gathered, how many people connected deeper with their family for you know, that transition. And so that's just one layer, but there's constant layers that are happening. And it gave a lot of people time to realize, okay, is this business really helping me? Like, again, the relationship really helping me? Where am I in this part? Because eventually we all evolve. Plants evolve, animals evolve. We're in that state of evolution for ourselves. And that's part of why the infrastructure is crumbling, because we've been so dependent. We feel like it's crumbling through one lens. We feel like, oh my God, things are going so crazy. What are we gonna do? And it's for that reason that we've been in this box for so long. We've been put others in power before us.
Yeah.
And that's where this whole point of empowerment comes, is taking back our power. Like we're so structured to just be the 9 to 5, so structured to, oh, something's wrong, take a medication, don't find out what the problem is. It's like, it's all these masks behind it.
Right.
So as everything is crumbling, as things are taking the turn for the worse, in reality they're disintegrating so we can create better opportunities.
Wow.
And this goes with business too.
Of course, yeah.
We're rebuilding ourselves.
Yeah, I can understand that. So let me ask you this. Changing the subject now more with your services. The owners, people are, going through change, or they're aware, and then people are still asleep, like the Matrix. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. They're thinking I'm crazy. So what are your services that you provide? How can you help people in the spiritual healing level, or what is it that you call yourself? What is the actual name that we want people to know you as?
Yeah, so I am an energy practitioner.
Energy practitioner. Love it. So with that being said, how can you help anyone with, they're going through midlife crisis, they're, depressed, they have anxiety, they feel like they're lost, or they're just surrounded by maybe a lot of negative, toxic people, and they don't know how to get out of that situation. I mean, we can't just disappear. We have to keep going with our lives. So what can we do?
Absolutely. So, that goes back to the empowerment. When you start recognizing energy, why I say energy practitioner and not so much healer is I help hold space for you to heal yourself through techniques, through different practices, through intention, so you can do it yourself. And that goes back to being your own healer, not depending on others for it. To a certain point, we still we're reaching out for help, but at some point it's like, okay, where can I empower myself to learn these techniques to do it for myself? For example, through stress. When you're stressed out, you're thinking everything, worst case scenario.
Right.
And that, talking about it in a more factual way, is the blood leaves the forefront of your brain, which is the logic, and it goes to the back of the brain, which is your reptilian brain, as they call it, which is not a part that's fully developed. You're either going to start looking to fight, you get angry, te alteras, you're like, you freeze, you don't know what to do, you stay quiet, you're just kind of like, oh shoot. And that comes back from our ancestral memory that we have back in the day. You're in a survival mode,
right?
So you're not thriving. So how can you make an educated decision from a space that is of lack, from a space that is in disempowerment, which is oftentimes when you're stressed, when you're anxious, that blood from the front of your brain, which is the logical part, is leaving to go to the back, which is where everything else that resides. So with these energy techniques, I show you ways to basically override that. For example, let's do one here for the public.
Yeah,
let's do it, you
please.
guys. This is empowerment. Let's do it now. And I taught you this one,
Yeah.
And I do this too, is always rubbing your hands together to generate that energy flow. Taking a deep breath in, out, shaking it off. Putting your right hand over your forehead, the left hand on the back of the neck.
Okay.
Good. Spine straight. Close your eyes. And taking deep breaths. And this goes back to the movement of the breath, the being mindful of the breath, and allowing that to put you in a relaxed state, because what you're doing is you are, with this practice here, you're not only moving your breath, so you're not holding it,
Okay.
you're allowing that energy to distribute throughout you, and then you're keeping that blood at the front of your forehead.
Right.
So you're allowing it to be in full state of calmness, you know,
Okay.
because you're putting you in a state of empowerment.
Okay.
Okay,
So is this
so-
going to help you in general immunity? What-
So this one's more specifically when you're in a stress.
In a stress,
In a
okay.
stress, and you're a lo mejor estás alterada. You feel very angry. You feel very anxious. You're stressed out. You're like, what am I gonna do? You know, you kind of feel like kind of scattered.
Right.
Immediately put your hand on your forehead and the other one on the back, and just
Okay.
begin breathing. It's gonna take some time because for most people, we're used to being in a stress state or constantly going still. So
Yeah.
to sit still and do these, you're kind of be like, what am I doing? Kind of seems silly
Yeah.
at first. But that's where it's up to the person to be like, to empower themselves and to put the effort into wanting to change that.
Right. Okay.
Like
And-
exercise.
Right. I have another question for you. So what about when someone is, and maybe you said stress, but what about like anxiety or maybe anger, or maybe they're going through a really hard time? Because I know I've met people who don't know how to calm that anger and they can show it. Or when you're in a meeting and someone gets very aggressive, like what can you do? Just, what are those?
Yeah. So those are a little bit two different techniques that you can do, and these techniques are like exercise. There's certain to simplify. If you want to work out your glutes,
Okay.
you're going to do squats, or you're going to do specific exercises to target those areas. Well, it's same with these techniques. If you want to get rid of stress, you target certain areas of your body where the stress resides, where the energy is flowing.
Okay.
To transmute that in a sense, and transmutation means to change.
Okay.
To change that into a better outcome, to change that into peace. So I'll start with the protection one, because the anger one, that one's kind of a little bit more technique-y. A little, because that's a lot of energy we're working with.
Right.
So, for example, let's see, or anxiety, because I know that one's a very
Okay.
popular
The
one
anxiety
right now,
one, yeah.
the anxiety one. So anxiety, in an energetic standpoint, is so much energy. You have so much energy, your mind's racing, your body's like, and sometimes you can even shake because it's not controlled.
Yeah. Okay.
Your mind is thinking about all these things constant. That's getting your body to kind of being like in a state of shock.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
you're not really in full control. And yeah, so to bring you back down, to be grounded is what we say with those terms. For example, the house, electricity. In every home there is a grounding wire, because so much electricity is running through the home. So those are the connections. The third one is the grounding one.
Right.
That's for high voltage energy, for your oven, for like the microwave, for anything that's gonna take high
That's a good point.
voltage. So whenever you're stressed out, oftentimes you're operating in that sense of having so much energy, and it's being scattered. But when there's no grounding wire in the home, you can get shocked. The appliances won't work.
Okay.
It's not going to give you that full delivery of the energy, which comes back to your body. So when you're scattered and you're not grounded, you are not in balance. You can get often stress and often anxiety. You can get sick because you're not operating at 100%. You're just kind of
Right.
and you're that spark. You're just sparking everywhere, but there's no control to it. So when you ground your energy, you're coming back down, and you're putting in, like, in your body, you're in a sense, it's that third hook, that pong, I think,
Yeah,
whatever
makes
it's
sense.
called. And you're doing that, you're creating that within your body. So therefore, coming back down, being in a space of more peace, then your body's in like a homeostasis, which means that at that point, when you're not in stress or you're not in anxiety, you're able to recover, you're able to heal, you're able to take more educated decisions, your emotions are not everywhere, you're healing.
Have you met people who've healed themselves with
Yeah.
this?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I did. I
mean,
do.
It happened to you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before that, I wanna show a technique because you mentioned it.
Absolutely.
Because,
I love techniques.
I love the techniques. So if you're ever in a space of feeling very scattered, and
This is
So-
for majority of, sorry to interrupt you, but majority of the owners, they're scattered. So, just wanna
okay,
throw
so
that
if
out
you're
there.
in a space of feeling scattered and you're just like, something's wrong, I don't know, I kind of feel that, my thoughts are racing, you're not being able to fully deliver the message, which is a good part of the of these techniques, is putting you in a perfect, in the best state that you can be, so you can deliver a message, so you can go through with your meeting and it reaches the audience
Okay.
with a flow, and people are not falling asleep in the meeting or whatever it
Okay.
is that you're presenting.
Okay.
Because again, that comes back to energy. When you're not in a good state, the other people, and you come into a room, you can feel it.
Yes. No, I agree 100% on that. Yeah. Okay.
You can feel it. You can feel it. And so, yeah, with these techniques, it's like, okay, let me be 100, the best that I can be right now. So then whatever it is that I am putting out there, it will flow as well. Because again, it goes back to energy,
Right.
you know. And you may not fully understand energy, but the energy is when you walk into a room, there's an argument, you can feel it. When someone's angry, you can feel it. When someone's anxious, you can feel it. Like that's all
true.
energy.
That's true.
Es energía. So, what technique can you do? So this one again, always rub your hands together, because these are your energy conductors,
Okay.
right? So rub your hands together to generate that heat. Make sure you breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth for a few seconds. Take one more deep breath in and shake it off. Good. So now with your left hand, middle finger, you're going to put your middle finger in your belly button, like hook it up.
Okay.
And then right hand, middle finger, you're going to hook it up to your third eye, which is right in between your eyebrows, like you're hooking up a fish, spine straight, and you're going to take a few deep breaths. So for the purpose of time here, we're going to take 3 deep breaths.
Okay.
Always breathing in through your nose and out through the mouth. And one more deep breath in and out. Good. So immediately, do you see how
Oh
that-
yeah, I think you're relaxed already.
Because when your energy is scattered, when you're anxious, so what this technique does is it's tapping into certain points of your body that allows you to connect again. So it's the grounding wire. There's more, but this is the most simplest one.
I have a question. I know this is more for people who are more spiritually aligned and understand how this kind of work does, but I know, and I need to ask you. So when someone is not aligned, when people say, well, I need to align my chakras, some people might say that's crazy stuff, but, we believe what we believe, and I believe in aligning ourselves, and when something is blocked. For example, and I'll say this in publicly, like for a long time I had a cyst in my ovaries, and I'm like, why do I have cysts in my ovaries? If I've always ate healthy and I've always been very active, and but my body was telling me that it wanted to give birth, but I'm 32 and I don't want to have babies yet, because I wanted to keep working and building my business, and eventually one day I'll have kids. But my body wanted to, so I needed to understand why. So and a lot of girls would go to the doctor and you get prescribed a medicine, or they say that they need to remove a cyst. But I'm like, no, cysts are hormonals, and we women could heal that internally. And I started just putting like oils. I started, touching.
See?
What you taught me.
Yeah.
Put it in my body and just meditating, letting it just go away. And I haven't had any problems. And I have to tell you this, I haven't had any cyst problems. Or any pain when I get my monthly women's, period. I haven't had any like pain or or bloating or things like that, because I'm working so hard to heal that monthly, cyst that many girls get, right? It's just normal because we're all under stress.
See?
So, but so chakra alignment. So, talk to us more about that, because I believe in that. I believe that you need to get aligned, you know. So, talk to us more for people who don't really understand how that works.
Yeah. So, well, let's see. How do I simplify this? Well, essentially, with the chakras, they're energy portals, energy centers, and we hold all these emotions, all these memories from our past, from our present, all these from different lifetimes. So that's kind of, but
right
here we are.
Right.
In these centers, all of our life experiences. So whenever there's any type of resentment, when there's any type of hurt, any pain, which is the importance of diving deeper into yourself, or seeking someone who's an energy practitioner, to help you come into this space of peace, so you can eventually move away from that, because
Right.
generally things that have manifested physical how do you say elements
Elements.
or physical, como males, como
Okay.
malestares,
Right.
they are something that has manifested from your emotions.
Right.
So to get your chakras aligned is to get some energy work, so we can start unblocking and moving
Right.
out that energy that's being held.
So
there.
Javier posted this picture, and I wanted to talk about this.
Beautiful.
So I'm glad he
Perfecto.
brought this up. So there's a crown, the third eye. Can you
Sí.
give us a rundown quickly on what those are?
Yeah, absolutely. So for the root, so we start at, as I was mentioning earlier, is that we're all energy.
Mm-hmm.
So these are some of the main, most simple chakras, simple but complicated in its own way, but there's more. So the root is all about your survival. It's all about your belonging. It's your connection with your tribe. It's with your community, with the sense of your family.
Okay.
The sacral is about creativity. It holds a lot of energy, especially for women,
Okay.
and even men, to be honest. It holds a lot of memory from your ancestors,
Oh,
from your
wow.
lineage,
Okay.
from your family. It holds a lot of DNA imprints. So that's a whole nother subject. Pero moving on to the solar plex, and if you guys want to know more, we'll leave you the information
Yes,
to contact me, because it
of
gets
course.
deep. This is just like we're trying to simplify it as much as we can.
And again, what is if they want to learn more? Anyone who's curious to
Sí.
learn more, what is your phone number so they can give you a call?
Oh yeah, so you can call or text at 602-750-9669.
Yeah, we're gonna dive into more of this, but not too much, because this is gonna be a whole
it's
different
gonna go
conversation.
over.
But he had the other one. So the throat one, and then there's
So then we have the solar plexus here, which is the gut. It's your stomach, your sense of confidence.
Okay.
That's why a lot of times, when you're feeling something,
butterflies.
you feel butterflies, or you're like, oh, something's not right. You feel it in your solar plexus.
It's true.
Yeah, it's the place of empowerment.
Wow.
Hmm. And then we have the heart, of course, which we know that it's the heart, your emotions.
So if someone broke my heart, it's in pain.
See.
Kidding. Like, I'm in pain.
Our emotions, our throat, which is the way that we can speak, the way we can deliver messages, the way that we receive. We listen. And then our third eye, which is our intuition. And then our crown, which is the connection with God, the connection with the universe, with source, whoever you want to believe in.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very well. Well, awesome. Thanks for sharing that. But I want to ask you another question
Sí,
about
sí.
this. Have you ever had any people talk negative about your type of work? There's always two sides. And I like to
Yeah.
bring this up because people might be believers of certain religion. This is not a religion. What do you consider this to be? Is it just spiritual? Is it just, the universe? Is more of like the world, Mother Nature? What is it that you call it? Because people might think, oh, this is witchcraft, or that's crazy. This is against the Bible. How do you handle that,
Yeah, that's a really good question. Excuse me. So it's a lot I want to say. It's like coming out. Well, it's challenging in the beginning, you know. Hence why I like to say white sheep of the family, because I went against everything that they said. It's challenging at the beginning, but I would say that for the people who are kind of skeptical, is to take a moment and see why. Where is that coming from? Are you skeptical because you really truly believe it, or is it because someone told you? Mm-hmm. Is it because you were brought up a certain way? Because oftentimes that comes from the family. You know, we mimic because these are the beliefs that are put into us.
Yeah.
So, why? Why is it? And if tap into your heart, always tap into yourself and really feel like, do you truly feel like this? Mm-hmm. Something that can heal you, something that can help empower you, be on the side of wrong.
Yeah.
Ultimately, one of my maestras, God bless her, her name is Yvonne. Oh. She taught me so much, but she said, and I'll always remember that, tap into your heart of hearts. What does your heart of hearts say to you? Like when you're tapping in, is that wrong? You know, because when you feel it from your heart, it can never really be wrong.
Of course.
You know? And that comes down to it being the connection with God, your connection with yourself. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of a little bit of, that was a little bit of a rabbit trail answer, but there's also scientific studies behind,
which I want to talk about too,
behind energy healing.
We're going to go on a short break, but when we come back, I'm going to talk. I'm going to show you guys, stats that actually this really is curable and it does work. It's just people don't really want to explore this area, but we'll go over numbers when we come back.
Ahorita llega lo bueno.
Don't take off just yet. We have a lot more to share. We will be back in 3, 2, 1.
Ask me what I've done with my life. I'll tell you one thing, that I tried to do everything right. Trouble will find me wherever I go, cutting me deeply into the depths of my soul. You ask me, do I believe in the light? I tell you one thing, sure as the sun shines in the sky. Wherever I go, it seems to be there.
Hola, hola, te saluda tu amiga y life coach Ana Paola de tu programa favorito, Nosotras las Mujeres. Y el día de hoy quiero hacerte una invitación a que te unas a este entrenamiento ofrecido por la Academia Decibel, donde podrás desarrollar tus habilidades para hablar en público. Yo seré tu instructora. Trabajaremos pensamientos limitantes, emociones encapsuladas, creencias limitantes y desbordaremos toda la pasión y toda la inspiración para que puedas ser una mejor versión de ti misma frente al público.
Decibel Academia. El nivel de tu comunicación.
Done deal. This is Boost Your Business with Erika Sanchez.
Welcome back to BYB. I'm Erica, your host, and we're talking about, healing and energy, life force, and the universe with, the CEO and founder of Luna Lunera with Claudia. And I wanted to talk about stats. So before we went on our break, we talked about healing, chakras, the alignments and techniques on how to protect yourself and, how to improve or maybe even heal any diseases or whatever that is that you're dealing with your body. Not saying that she can fix you, but she can help you and guide you so that you can work on healing yourself. Is that the best way to describe
absolutely.
it? But according to a survey conducted by the National Institute of Health back in 2007, 1.2 million adults and 161,000 children in the United States receive energy healing therapy like Reiki, and I think it's just like meditation. And Reiki is now used by a growing number of Americans to help with relaxation, anxiety, pain management, and depression. And according to a study in March of 2017, is also issued by a holistic nursing practice, that usually all of this meditation does really do work, because it actually helps lower those difficulties. And when you lower those difficulties, it helps you internally. So it's a great, you guys can pull it up on the internet as well and do your own research, educate yourself. That way you could also understand, exactly how those can really benefit you. I also want to mention something else with crystal alignments. What are those? And we talked about that, but those are mostly like gemstones. They've been used for thousands of years. Even, this is a little bit more legendary, but even in the legends of Atlantis, supposedly they used to, they indicated that healing was performed by laying or standing inside a chamber filled with stones and light with vibration and healing crystals. So, those are legends. I think that we talked about this. We kind of lose that touch now that we live in the city, and we're not really close to nature. We're not in any of that. We're literally next to buildings, so it changed everything. But anyway, I just wanted to throw those stats out there because I wanted to support, the topic, that it helped me, it helped other people, and it helped numerous of my friends too. So I recommend it.
Beautiful. Yeah, and crystal healing and crystals in general, the interest has gone up so much in the last 2 years, for the same reason that we had that moment to pause, to really dive in and see what is going on, besides what the news says, that through our own feeling. But through crystals, that's a whole different topic, but just kind of simply bringing the awareness of the energy to it. I feel like when, like, for example, this crystal here, people say, they're like, oh, it's just a rock. But do you know the perfect conditions, the perfect conditions that Mother Nature had to go through to create this baby? Like, there's so much energy that needs to go into formulating this. The perfect environment, the perfect conditions, the perfect energy, through millions of years. And it's just being created there. So whenever you take something like this out of the earth, it's already charged. It holds that power. So there's certain crystals, certain minerals that help with certain areas of your body, with help with your chakras alignment. But you can even see it through Cure lymphotography. Okay. Which is another subject, but that basically is a type of technology that captures your aura. You can see the energy of the crystal.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. So when you use these properties, it's like God, Mother Earth, the universe, nature, whoever you believe in, like, these tools are available for us to help us.
Right.
So yeah, that's, I mean,
the crystals are more for what? Like, how do we use them? So it's more to keep them in the house, to carry it with us. How are the best used?
You can do what you feel it is that you need. If you feel like you need it in your home, if you feel like you need to carry it with you, like on a certain jewelry, you could do that. You can use it through healing. I put them under my table, under my massage table. I put them under there, so it's creating this energy to help move more of whatever it is that may be stuck, in the body, or things like that. So
I also noticed that you brought this essential oil. It's Luna Lunera, and it has high frequency crystal infused Bella Rosa. Yeah, it's a goddess an anointing oil.
See,
so it has organic ingredients like coconut oil, jojoba oil, rose shimmer, rose quartz. So you do have a lot of things in there. So talk to me more about this. How can we use this? And let me share this.
So
So this is you built this. This is your product.
Yeah, I
This is
created
you're
that.
you're the one distributing it, manufacturing it. That's awesome. Oops.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Thank
talk to
you.
me more about what this
Yeah.
is.
So
How can I
with
how
the
can I-
oils, I
Go ahead.
branched out. I got the download, as we say, the intuitive insight to create something. And well, that creation of the oils came from the same reason that when I went through the health issue, which was to do with my thyroid, I found out that there's so many toxic chemicals in perfumes.
Right.
And whenever you use that, it offsets your hormones. And when
Oh,
you
wow.
are when you're trying to take care of your thyroid and heal it, it disrupts your endocrine system, and it sends your body into a chaos. Pero you know how many women and men, so many people love perfumes. Like
Right.
perfumes really set the tone for so many things. Their energy, it makes you feel some type of way.
Yeah.
Cuando huele rico and
Yeah,
all that. So
yeah. This smells
I was like,
amazing, by the way.
Thank you. I'm like, you know what? I want to smell good too. Pero I don't want to smell like hierbitas all the time. I love my hierbitas, so I don't want to smell like that all the time. I want something that smells flowery, something that smells good, something that's going to help me. And then I just started creating. I started formulating, and that birthed the oils that are really good for meditation, for prayer, or just on a daily basis.
Okay.
This one specifically is rose, and rose carries a very high frequency.
Okay.
So when you apply it on your hands, and you use it like aromatherapy. And right away when you smell something, it changes your attitude. It changes your,
Wow.
your energy. It changes the way that you feel. So that's the purpose of
And
it too.
what
to
is the
help.
cost? Like, if someone wants to buy this, you want to order it through Luna. How do they order it, and how much does it cost?
So I have different sizes. That
Okay.
one's a 1 ounce. That one is $25.
Okay.
And then there's different ones on my website. So as low as $10. I try to make them affordable.
Very
you know,
well. So if you want to order, just go to Luna_Luneta 333, and then you'll be able to go down there and send her a DM.
Yeah, I'm gonna update that too, because I know it's a little bit not outdated, but you know, we're getting with it. We're getting with technology.
Yeah, no, but in your Instagram, I was watching you that you also do like ceremonies or rituals or gathering.
Sí.
What are those? Like, do you do yoga? Is it yoga or is it
Not yoga specifically. I collaborate with other energy practitioners to create events and just build a community where you can come and know that you're not the only one. You know, sometimes when we're going through certain things in our lives, we feel like, ya se me acabó el mundo, everything's falling down, like I have no one. But then it's like, okay, we're not the only one. So I feel like building that sense of community and building that sense of like, wow, other people are going through it too. I
Yeah.
don't have to do this alone.
Yeah.
It really helps you feel more like it helps you heal.
Yeah.
It helps you heal. So the purpose of the circles, the women's circles, is to bring together women so we can heal together. And through these ceremonies, through these events, those techniques that I use frequently is what is being taught in a collaboration. It could be yoga too, with other
Okay.
other modalities to heal.
Okay.
So.
And going back to Reiki, so you also conduct Reiki services to some of the clients. I haven't had one yet.
Yeah.
Maybe years ago I've done Reiki with music. It was with more instruments, with the gong and all that. And I really enjoyed it because I was able to, I kind of fell asleep, but I remember meditating a lot before, and I'm like, oh, I'm so relaxed. But I was stressed out when I got there, and I left unstressed. When I saw you for one of your services, I remember going in with a lot of back pain. I left gone, no more back pain. But I'm glad Javi put that picture in there. So a Reiki practitioner is a safe, gentle, non-invasive form of natural, hands-on, energy-based healing. And what it can do for your body, Reiki is an energy healing technique that promotes relaxation, reduces stress, anxiety through gentle touching. The Reiki practitioner uses their hands to deliver energy to your body, improving the flow and balance of your energy to support healing. Did I nail it there?
Yeah, absolutely. Wow.
Perfect. All right. Anything else when it comes to Reiki, though?
Yeah, so Reiki is energy. It's energy. It's the energy of God. It's life force. So it's a specific practice, but life force is everywhere. So with the Reiki, it's like you're channeling and you're putting yourself into this very calm state. You're to conduct energy, but essentially you're the one doing your own healing. As energy practitioners, we are just the one holding the space for you and helping you be in a meditative state and a peaceful relaxation state, so your body regenerates. And of course, if we feel if I feel that there's an area that needs more life force, more energy, that's where I will place my hand and allow that energy to move through me and into you to disperse it and remove blockages.
A couple of years ago, when I used to work for a Mason Lash studio, the owners also owned a meditation business called Current Meditation. And I remember many years ago, the owners told me, you should come and try one of the classes. And I'm like, no, it's not for me. I'm more into kickboxing. I'm more into that stuff. But I didn't know what those were. I didn't know what meditation was. I didn't know that the gong, sitting down, any type of that work of meditation, and having a guide help us go into like not into sleep mode, but into that working the subconscious mind, working and healing, working all that. But I remember going to one of those classes, and my mind was all over. I have a deadline. I have to turn this in. I have a homework to do. And when I got out of the class, I'm like, I can't focus. It's not for me. I can't. I have things to worry about. But then I realized that the more I was all over the place, that I was the candidate for that, because I was all over the place. So in order for me to achieve that point is, can I really sit down and relax and not think about anything else and just think about me sitting down in a garden? No, because my mind was like, where am I going? Oh shit, now I gotta turn this in. Oh my gosh, I gotta do this. I gotta wash the clothing. So who is a perfect candidate? Because I remember I was told I am, because my mind is just all over the place. But for you, what is a perfect candidate?
I feel that everybody is. And meditation looks so different. It comes in many forms. The purpose of meditation is to really get you into that. So if you feel like your mind is racing, like, because you haven't sat down. So it's like working out. Are you going to get the beautiful body that you want, or toned fit body in the first workout? No, it's a consistent thing. And that's where it's going to come back to us. It comes back to us like, am I going to try this and keep trying it until I come into a more peaceful state within myself? Because if all those thoughts are racing, that's telling you have your energy going. It's everywhere. It's scattered. So when you start meditating, you're coming to the awareness like, wow, I really am always thinking, where is my space of peace? So the more that you meditate, the more that you start realizing where you are within yourself.
I have another question for you.
Can I ask you one more thing?
Oh, yeah, of course.
And then one more thing. Eventually, when you move past that point, and I mean, it will depend on the days. There's sometimes when I meditate that my mind is completely racing, but I was like, okay, this is still what I need.
Right.
So I sit down. But eventually you do reach a space where you kind of dissolve and you leave all of that behind. You enter in this state of pure bliss and euphoria, and you feel so connected to God, and you feel that you can do anything. And when you're in that space, all of your problems dissolve. So when you come out of it, you're like, wow, I do have a solution for this. So the more that you meditate, the more you train your mind to be empowered, the more you train your mind to overcome, to thrive. So it's at this point in life where we're in a shifting point of our evolution, that it's essential. If we're gonna thrive and not just survive, it's essential that we master our mind. It's essential that we master our energy. It's essential that we master ourselves, so we can really tune in and connect with what is happening energetically, what is happening with the world without this propaganda, without all these messages being blasted to us. And that's where we come into our sense of empowerment. And meditation is definitely a way to get there.
That's awesome.
It's like, it's essential.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Is there such thing as energy suckers? vampire energy suckers, whatever you want to call them. Is there such thing? I've heard that before, but I don't know.
That's a little complex. It's a little complex question. Pero yes and no. Because again, there's always different layers of this reality. There's not just one way, I feel. It's like, but let me see, how am I going to answer this? Yes, if you believe that it is in a way and you're giving your power to it, if you have that belief running in the back of your mind that there's an energy sucker, that you can be affected, and you haven't began to really learn about your energy, then it could be easier for people to suck your energy. But when you are in this empowered state and you begin to put your boundaries, you begin to be like, no, you don't affect me, that energy shifts and they can't really.
So the mind controls
Exactly. The mind controls it, but also your consistency with mastering your energy. It's putting it in a way that people would understand. It's like when you start, again, kind of going back to the workout, when you start working out, if you feel like, when you gain that muscle, then you're feeling more confident in yourself. You're feeling like, oh no, they're not going to affect me. Like you're really you're connecting with yourself, right? So it's like the same way for like energy vampires. Like the more that you empower yourself, the more that you know how to harness, how to direct, how to heal yourself, how to feel energy, the more you feel confident and the more people don't affect you. Like you literally create an energetic bubble around you.
That's good.
So people can't even penetrate.
I remember you telling me a technique to always zip up, and I've been using that certain times where I feel like, okay, I'm going to go into an environment that maybe I'm not really feel comfortable in, or I don't want to be in there, but I have to be there. So I imagine certain things that you told me to just zip up my whole body, just managing it, and it works. At least it helps mentally to feel that I did something mentally so that I can trigger it, But we're coming to an end. But I wanted to just say thank you, Claudia. It's been an honor having Daniela. Sorry. Oh my gosh.
That's okay.
I was thinking about my friend Claudia right now.
That's all right.
Daniela, thank you for being here. It's a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, you are a asset. I feel like you've helped me a lot. You've helped numerous people. You've helped some of my friends with, certain techniques and healing, and having that motivation to say, hey, we can fix our inner problem. Anything that you're trying to improve, you can be doing well, but you can also improve certain things. You can also always do better. So anyway, but please contact her. You guys have her number. You guys can go on Instagram, find her there, follow her on Instagram. Do you have Facebook as well?
No, but I shall. Follow me on Instagram, and all updates will be there.
Find her on Instagram, DM her. She might, give you guys a discount. Give her a shout out and follow her. And then don't forget, she is selling essential oils. So if you feel like you might need something like this, she's custom made. This is custom made. This is something that you're going to find in a retail store. Contact her. There's a lot of ingredients here that I would say there are really good ingredients to have if you believe in those certain things. Anything else that you want to mention before we go?
Yeah, so yes, so for those of you who are interested and this message really resonated, you want to see what we can do to work together, we'll be offering a special discount, so just reach out to me.
Awesome.
And let's see, what else? Any questions as well, go ahead and message me and we'll see how we can work together.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. And then before we go, I want to mention this quote. This quote is aligned to, Daniela and her services, and it's called Awakening. So the real spiritual awakening is when something emerges from within you that is deeper than who you thought you were. So the person is still there, but one could almost say that something more powerful shines through the person, by Eckhart Tolle.
Beautiful.
So keep that in mind, and we'll see you guys on the following Saturday, and we'll have more topics to talk about. Have a blessed weekend. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
This great deal has already started. We are waiting for you with more tools to take your company to the next level in the next edition of Boost Your Business.